Good morning, everyone. Students, as you know, we are proceeding with chapter number 1, Evolution and Fundamentals of Business. Here we have completed the human activities. Then we have completed, human activities divided in two parts, economic and non-economic. We proceeded with the economic activity, which is further classified in three parts, business, profession, and employment. We have left the profession and employment there only. We started with business. And rest of the things related to business like features, its objective, role of profit in the business and risk, all these topics we have completed. Now we are studying something more about the business activities. Here we are doing classification of business activities. Students, let me tell you, business is a broader term, and we classify the business activities in two parts, that is industry and commerce. Industry is a place where you convert the raw materials into the finished goods, right? The goods which are used by the consumers. And further, I would like to tell you, these goods, the goods which are manufactured in the industry, we can classify in the three parts. The first one is your consumer goods, then producer goods, and intermediate goods. Fine. So we have to understand what are these kind of goods. In fact, all these kind of goods are manufactured in the industries, right? These are processed there only. But why we call these goods as a consumer goods? Students, the goods which are used by the ultimate consumers like you and me, fine, we are consuming these things directly for our purpose, is called consumer goods, like some eatable items like biscuit, bread, fabric and all. So these all things we are using. So these are called consumer goods. Another one is producer goods, or we call them capital goods also. These are the goods which are used by the industries further, right? These are the goods which are used to manufacture something else. Like suppose we have taken an example of this consumer goods, biscuit. So where these biscuits and breads are manufactured? These are manufactured in the factories, right? So we have the big plant and machineries to manufacture these biscuits and bread. Okay, you must have visited at certain factories. School people, they generally take to the Parle-G and all. So that Parle-G is manufacturing biscuits and other kind of eatable things. Okay, and these are the consumable goods. Fine. So these big plant and machinery which are manufacturing the biscuits for us, these big plant and machineries are also manufactured somewhere, right? And these are also manufactured in the industries. Okay. So these goods which are manufactured in those industries, like they are manufacturing machines and equipments. Fine. So these kind of products are called producers' goods, right? Because these machines are also manufactured in some other certain industries, right? Now third one, we have intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are those which are further used to manufacture some other product. Means suppose you are manufacturing one bicycle or your motorbike. So for this bicycle and motorbike, you need certain parts. So these parts are also manufactured somewhere else. So these are called intermediate goods. So here they are telling the goods which require further processing by other concerns for conversion into finished consumable goods like plastic, rubber, aluminum, so and so. Fine. So we have divided these goods in three parts: consumer goods, producer goods, and intermediate goods. Now students, this was the introduction of the industry. Now we'll talk about the types of industries. We have three kind of industries: primary industry, secondary industry, and tertiary industry. I think students, this topic you have already done in your 10th standard, but that's in our syllabus, so we have to do it properly. So primary industries are those which indulge in extraction of the natural resources, and it's like reproduction of the plants and animals, nurseries and agriculture work. This kind of work is done in the primary industry. So we can classify this in two parts. One is your genetic industry and another one is your extractive industry. So genetic industry, what it is including? It's including like rearing of cattle for milk, grazing sheep, poultry farming, nurseries, orchards where you grow fruits and all, and dairy farming. Dairy farming is also a part of the genetic industry. So these kind of activities we take in genetic industries. And we have another part of primary industry which is involved in extracting the material from you can say beneath the surface of the earth. Fine. Like extraction of the mines, coal and raw crude oil, you can say. So all these work where these are done under the extractive industries, right? Now primary industry, which indulge in the primary work. Next we have secondary industry. Students, secondary industry is that one which converts the material into the finished goods. Like which material? Which is produced by the primary industry. Means they are using the material which we have produced in the primary industry. They are using that material and converting it into the finished goods which are used by the customers directly, right? Now the secondary industry is also classified in 4 parts. First one is called your manufacturing industry. Then this is manufacturing and construction industry. Now this what is the manufacturing industry? Manufacturing means we are producing something, but we have this industries like the different kind of manufacturing processes are there. So on the basis of the processes, we divide this manufacturing industry in 4 parts. First one is your analytical, then synthetic industry, processing industry and assembling industry. Fine. So what the analytical industry is there? Analytical industry is those industry which break the raw material in many parts, right? Means one raw material you are using, it is breaking the raw material in many parts. You're getting so many items from that. For example, we can say oil industry, where you use the crude oil, right? As like you refine the crude oil and you get so many extracts from there, like petroleum, kerosene oil, petrol, these kind of things you are getting from these industry. Means you break one item and you get many. Next one is your synthetic industries, and in these industries you mix more than 2 ingredients you mix and you get the new one. Like it's telling 2 or more materials are mixed to form a new product, like cosmetics, soap, paint, detergents, fertilizer, etc. These are mixing something else with the main ingredient and you are getting some other item. Next one is your processing industry. As its name is suggesting ki different processes are there. The manufacturing doesn't take place within one process. Fine. It's not having one step. It's having many steps. An example we can take of the cotton textile industries, where you use the cotton we get from the primary industry. You're using the cotton, and then the process is like spinning, and after spinning you just weave the thread, then dyeing it, means coloring, bleaching, printing, and then sieving and all that, right? So many processes are there, only then the garment is ready. Okay, so these kind of industries are called processing. Like leather industry also, where you manufacture the shoes, so that is also processing industry. Next we have assembling industry. As its name is suggesting, again assembling, you assemble some parts. Here for getting the final product you have to assemble so many parts. And very good example is your automobile industry, where you get different parts, like you are getting tire from one factory, and the body of your automobile is from another industry, some engine from other place. I mean, so many parts you are arranging from different industries, and then you are assembling that and you prepare your automobile. So these kind of industries are called assembling industry, right students? Till now we have discussed primary industry is classified in 2 parts, genetic industry and extractive industry. Fine. Then secondary industry, this is divided in 2 parts, manufacturing and construction industry, and construction will do very soon. And manufacturing industry, we have 4 kind of manufacturing, We have divided in 4 parts: analytical, synthetic, processing and assembling industry. Okay. Now, the second part of your manufacturing industry is construction industry. Well, construction industry. These are the industry which construct certain things like houses, construction of the houses, like builders are there. They are constructing roads, dams, bridges and laying of the railway tracks even. Fine. All these things are a part of construction industry. And you know, very peculiar feature of this industry is that in rest of the industry, what do? We manufacture the goods at one place and we shift that product to somewhere else, right, in the warehouses or at the place where it is required. But the peculiar feature of this construction industry is that the goods will be stable and we can't move these goods from one place to another one. Like dams are at those places only, roads are stable, houses are constructed at the same place. Fine. So that is the main feature of this construction industry. The goods won't be movable, they will be fixed at one place. Right. So here we have completed our secondary industry. Third one is termed as tertiary industry. Students, we call it service industry also. Tertiary industry, these are quite helpful, as its name is telling. It's serving rest of the industry. You know, your business is not success without these helping units. For running any business smoothly, you need certain services, auxiliaries to the trade you require. And it's including transportation, banking, insurance, warehousing and advertisement. Okay. Now, what this transportation system, I think it's well known by all of you. It helps in moving the goods from one place to another one. You need raw material to manufacture something, so you have to get the raw material from the place where it has been extracted or it has been manufactured. Means from the primary industry, it has to bring the raw material to the secondary industry and then they manufacture, and again this can be sent back to the customers or to the consumer's place through the transportation system. So it's very useful. Next one is your banking. We know that these days in the modern era, business is not success without this bank. You know, it's helping you day in, day out, and it's providing you the finance, loan it is providing, credit facility, everything it is providing. Fine. And these days, most of the work we are doing through the banking system. We are not using the cash transactions too much. Fine. Next one is your insurance. Insurance companies are providing you safety and security. Today's time is very risky, and whatever the dealings we are doing and the movements which we are doing, every moment is full of risk. And this risk is covered by the insurance companies. At every moment, this covers your risk, right? From raw material to the finished goods, and even after sale services even, right? It is providing the service of the insurance. Next one is your warehousing. Warehousing is a place where you store the goods safely. There is a time gap between production and consumption. You produce the goods at one time of the period, and this can be consumed by the customers after a long gap. So where we have to keep the goods safe, these are kept in the warehouses, right? And last one is your advertisement, or you can say the communication system. Knowledge hindrance. You have produced your item, it's the best item available at the best prices. But how will you sell by the time customers are not aware about your product? That means you have to give awareness in the market. You have to give the awareness to the customers. You have to advertise your product. Fine. Otherwise, everything, all the process and activity is useless by the time you don't sell it to your customers and you don't realize money. Okay. So advertisement helps you and it removes the hindrance of the knowledge. Okay. So advertisement provides information to the consumer regarding the goods and services in the market, right? The goods and services which you are providing in the market, its information is given to the customers by the advertisement. So these are the tertiary industry. These are really big industries in themselves. These are working to help your main industries. Fine, students? So here we have completed classification of your business activity that has classified in two parts, that is industry and commerce. And today we have discussed about the industry. We have three kind of industries. One is primary, secondary and tertiary industry. Fine. Commerce we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you, students.